Porn addiction is control. Porn addiction sucks up time. Porn addiction gives you dopamine. Porn addiction is a crazy addiction. Comment your experience down below if you've ever struggled with porn addiction. I went through phases where I have become very obsessed with porn. And it's something that a lot of us don't like to talk about. It's almost very shameful, like, oh, porn. But porn addiction's real. And again, I share for educational purposes only. My name is Eric. I'm a recovering cocaine and alcoholic addict, and I share just all my experiences in life that I've been through. If you're new here, hit the like and follow button. Comment your experience down below. What I learned when it came to porn addiction and what it feels like is this. So I'm ADHD. ADHD, we have a low baseline dopamine, and we will look for things out there that will cause and create dopamine. And a lot of us are attached to our phones. And guess what's easily found on our phone? Well, we can go online and we can find porn, and we can find porn very easily. With ADHD, porn is a self-medicating escape. And it's something we can become very obsessed with. We look at it as almost a coping tool and not even as an addiction in its sense. Because with porn, it is something that we can become hyperfixated on. It creates some dopamine. It's very visually stimulating. It feels good to have an orgasm. Now all of a sudden we're looking for certain scenes, or we're looking for something that really turns us on. Now we're heavily invested in this. Time is getting sucked up, and we almost feel like we're productive. We were productive for the last hour as we were scrolling through porn, trying to find the exact scene that we wanted for everything that we wanted. And for that hour, 30 minutes, we felt great. And that is where that unhealthy coping style comes from. Even when it comes to porn addiction, one of the other big sides of it, from others that I've talked to that have struggled with it before, is a bullying side. That's more of the childhood trauma side. And people who are bullied a lot of times will struggle with porn addiction. Just because it's that sense of control, it's this sense of being empowered, it's this sense of knowing what you want, how you want it. It's a lot that goes into it. Now, when it comes to the bullying side of porn addiction, I'm not very familiar with it because that wasn't really what drew me to it. It was more of, man, it fed my ADHD. It gave me that visual stimulation. That's the crazy thing about ADHD is like our brains are constantly searching for dopamine. And when it comes to sex or anything sexual, that provides dopamine. It's visually stimulating. When it comes to ADHD, we're visually stimulated and audio stimulated very easily. There's other stimulations that can really help when it comes to ADHD, but these are ones that we can just become like lost in. And so you lose track of time, because for people with ADHD, like time can creep by. We have the worst time management skills there is. And next thing you know, this is something that almost gives us control over time, and we don't realize the time going by, and we have control over our thoughts because we're hyper focused on something instead of our thoughts jumping all over the place. And we have a goal in mind and something in mind that we want to accomplish, that we just become kind of obsessed with it and hyper focused in. And that's the amazing thing, is like we're constantly going after, because our brain knows if we have an orgasm, we're going to feel good for just a short period of time. That dopamine rush hits, and then we hit a dopamine crash. And then our brain kind of goes back into, well, maybe I should just do that again. I mean, there's been days before I've masturbated 10, 12 times. Because your brain's constantly thinking, well, if I do that again, I'm going to feel great. And you do feel great for a little bit of time, and then you crash again. And you just keep repeating the cycle. And that's one of the hardest things when it does come to porn addiction, and repeating the cycle that we sometimes don't realize. Again, when it comes to struggles with this, it is real. It's something that we're doing for escape. And it's something that negatively affects a lot of relationships. Next thing you know, you're investing more time into a porn addiction than you are a relationship. Now you're having a lot of failed relationships. Now you feel a little bit more alone. Now you have rejection sensory dysphoria that kicks in, and you feel that people don't like you, and you don't understand why. And then you go to porn to make you feel better. And it's a very vicious cycle, just like any addiction that starts to take place, where we don't realize how the addiction is self-sabotaging us. The scary part about any addiction out there is the self-sabotage. We don't realize that what we're doing, the cause and effect that it has. That all of a sudden, in maybe our relationship, we're not having sex with our partner like we should. And next thing you know, that's causing tension in our relationship. And we're frustrated in our relationship, not realizing, well, part of the reason we're not having sex with our partner is because we're constantly obsessed with porn, or we're constantly masturbating. And this is a struggle. And again, there's nothing wrong with this, like masturbating. There's nothing wrong with porn. I mean, let's face it, orgasms feel good. Like, I'm very all about like, hey, go have sex. It's fun. But I'm also, you have to make sure that this is done in a healthy manner, and it's not destroying relationships. It's not destroying your relationship, because all that does is make you feel more isolated, more alone. There's shame then all of a sudden that really builds up with it. And it just becomes this obsession of constantly escaping. And that's the worst part about addiction, is when you're using it now as an escape. And a lot of people will use porn as an escape. And that's part of what porn addiction, again, is that escape to escape reality. Again, comment your experience down below. Hit the like and follow button. I'd love to know your thoughts on it. If you've ever really struggled with porn addiction, if you struggled more on the bullying side, or if you struggled more on the ADHD side. Mine was always the ADHD side, just because I wanted to feel good. I got 30 minutes to kill, and this is something I can kill 30 minutes with. This is something that's going to make me feel productive. This is something that's going to make me like sneak away a little bit. Like I feel secretive. Really weird of what it did dopamine-wise for me. And then again, just like any addiction out there, afterwards you felt great orgasm. And now I feel empty. I feel kind of like a shell a little bit. And now I need to do it again. And you start repeating that cycle. It's so crazy how addiction works, and you don't realize that vacuum you're getting sucked up into. And when it comes to any addiction out there, again, it's finding what works for you. There is no right or wrong way of quitting an addiction, getting sober. When it comes to drugs themselves and substances, I mean, go to rehab, inpatient treatment, outpatient treatment. Download Sunflower Sober. Even if you struggle with porn addiction, download Sunflower Sober. It's tagged down below, and start talking to AI sponsors, support. There's a community. There's a bunch of tools and resources for help. For me, a big part of it was taking my ADHD meds. If I don't take my ADHD meds, I actually get more obsessed with porn and finding ways to get the dopamine, because my brain, again, baseline dopamine's low. So if I do take my meds, a lot easier not to have any desire for porn. When it comes to, finding a therapist, a doctor, a psychiatrist, make sure it's somebody that understands this, is knowledgeable about it, get the right help, the right diagnoses, medication even if needed. Addiction-wise, go to AA, NA, L9. It's always nice to be around other addicts, because addicts, no matter what the addiction is, can understand other addicts. Like, I've never struggled with gambling, but I do understand gambling addiction. I do understand porn addiction, sex addiction. I do understand these other addictions that weren't mine, because we as addicts, just trying to explain to somebody how I am so obsessed with this one thing only. I will do anything for that. Most people, it doesn't make any sense, but for us, it does, of like how your brain gets this one thought, boom, and we hyper-focus in on that, and it's creating dopamine, it's creating a rush, it's the process, it's the method, it's everything that we become so obsessed with that we as an addict get it. And we also get how that low afterwards, that crushing low, like even with gambling, man, to lose all that money and be like, oh man, what am I gonna do? That stress, that fight or flight mode is such an extreme high, that dopamine crash, that we're gonna go right back after trying to get that high again. And again, like I said, I share for educational purposes only. Anybody out there going through it right now, I feel for you. Reach out for help. That's the biggest thing, is reaching out for help, letting people know that you do struggle, and finding the right help out there. Again, you can do it one day at a time, and you got this.